Hello, for the UDL reflection portion of this portfolio assignment, I will be going over the California content standards that I did on a s'more. So with this, I was very interested in the way that I was able to observe the standards that were put in place and how the students were going about applying them and how the teachers organized them. So for example, I listed out 3 different standards that I noticed were being implemented, and then within each standard there's 2 substandards that have an example underneath them of what the students were doing to apply the standards. So for example, on 1, students demonstrate the motor skills and movement patterns needed to perform a variety of physical activities. 8.1.3, demonstrate basic offensive and defensive skills and strategies in a team physical activities. So the students were able to work together while playing volley tennis in groups of 6. The teams were able to be on defense and offense throughout the game. The team was returning the service, they were on defense, and when they were serving, they were on offense, and this could potentially change every time the ball went over the net. So I was able to see how the teacher demonstrated what was happening, how they were able to communicate the specific ways to return serves and how to serve, and how the students were understanding and comprehending what they needed to do to be on offense and defense. So for 8.1.3, I was able to grasp the entire standard and how they were applying it. And this was just really informational and interesting to me because I was able to see it actually applied rather than just reading the standard in the list of standards for California. So now I will go into the next UDL assignment, which is EHD 5002 Tory Goals, week 12, April 16th through April 23rd, and this was about the technology. So I found this one to be very important to go over again, especially because of the online learning formats that we're going through right now through the coronavirus, and I think that potentially schools could be using a lot more technology in the future to help with learning and distance learning and being able to support the students more. So I thought this is really important, especially in the climate that we're in right now. So some things that were notable was the instructional resources in the classroom that I observed the teachers using. So for the physical education class, it's kind of difficult. They didn't have too much new technology being used or implemented, but every teacher did have a walkie-talkie or radio to communicate with each other and to the main office, which was for safety reasons. And within the locker rooms, all of the teachers had their own laptop, but the laptop stayed inside the locker room. And there was a radio that was used in the weight rooms for weightlifting to play music on, and there was a timer that spit out numbers to keep track of all of the students' times during the California state testing for PE and the mile run. So that was super interesting to me, and then I was able to research in this assignment 3 websites that would give me more information into the grade and subject that I was looking at. So Shape America is a very informative website. It gives links, it gives standards, grants, events, and it promotes physical education. And it gives a community for the physical education teachers to be a part of and support each other, and gives links to be able to go to conferences and engage with each other and grow. And then the California Teachers Association was able to give me information about any grade, and it was very accessible. It covers the class sizes, retirement, standards, funding, and much more. And then the National Education Association was able to give me information about guidance. It was very good about helping with the human and civil rights, college affordability, debt services, educational funding. So I found it to be very useful for a public education website, and it would allow a lot more support for the teachers and educators who need more guidance. So these were the two assignments that I thought were very informative and definitely helpful, and allowed me to research more information to be able to grow as